Right. Nairobi National Park Railway threatens Kenyan wildlife, which is just quite interesting from a number of viewpoints. The construction of Kenya's high-speed railway network should be good news. Yeah, it's fantastic. Very, fantastic. But part of the line is being built through a national park. And then you always get the wankers, the bastards, and the twats, which are usually middle-class white people who want to dictate how Africans run their country. Activists say that this poses a major, activists being white middle-class people, say this poses a major threat to wildlife, which attracts tourists from around the world. Listen, if it's going to go through the park, and the way they're building it is on, it's high up, so that the animals can walk underneath, it's going to be a railway, which means that people can see from whatever distance they're going from one end to another, the wildlife on either side of the tracks that are above, and that's going to be fantastic. So the tourists who come there will also enjoy this. So it'll be open to tourists. They will see the wildlife as they're travelling along in the train. So this will benefit the wildlife. But instead, you get these twats, these activists have always got to jump up, talk shit. They don't want to ever be reasoned. But I'm glad. Well done, Kenya. It's striding forward in bringing, new technology to Africa, which is the thing that I want to point out that Nigeria is not doing. Nigeria is not building a modern railway system that I know of. I haven't been from Nigeria for a while, but it just seems to me that I've just heard that the president of Nigeria has proudly announced that they bought a new plane for Nigerian Airways. Wow, fantastic! What would have been more beneficial would be why isn't there an underground system in Lagos, Nigeria's financial capital? Okay, which badly needs an underground system. Why isn't there a proper train system being started? You've got Kenya, which is building and constructing this. You've got, let's have a look. You've got Morocco. It built a high-speed train system. That was 2016. You've got Tanzania bid to overtake Kenya. They're looking to build and have probably built their station. And 2015, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, was classed as one of the poorest countries in the world, has produced a modern rail system. Isn't it a bit embarrassing? Nigeria, which consistently likes to boast itself to being the lion of Africa, more money goes into Nigeria from people who are abroad, the diaspora, who send money back to Nigeria more than any other part of Africa. More money goes into Nigeria from that. Yet Nigeria cannot get off its fat ass and produce at least an underground system for Nigeria, for Lagos. Cannot produce a good railway, start at least one railway system, say from Lagos, going all the way up to through Abuja and pass right up to the north. One modern day railway system. I think they started to do that a few years ago. I've not heard much about it. It may be running. If it's running now, why isn't there more rails? Small networks being built, as I said, in Lagos, from one end to another of Lagos to another, because it desperately needs to have a railway system. But it's not doing that. Instead, we're boasting about one plane that the Nigerian government has bought. Yet all the other countries, Addis Ababa, Morocco, Kenya, Tanzania, are producing small railway networks, like the UK overground system. But Nigeria is doing nothing. Yet it wants to perceive itself as being the Lion of Africa. I'm not sure about South Africa. I think South Africa has its own little network as well. Nigeria doesn't have one. Why? This is, to be frank, embarrassing and disheartening. Nigeria needs a local railway system. It needs to start building a network of train systems in Nigeria to go out to all the various, say from Lagos to Benin, from Benin to into the Delta states, and then the same thing going up to north, etc., and expand out a train network. This is something that Nigeria could do and start with. Start off small. You don't have to start off huge. Start off small and build up from there. But no, it doesn't want to. It's not doing that. Instead, it wants to boast about one lousy, bloody plane that it's bought. Nigerian Airways doesn't really. I think it's owned. The Nigerian Airways is owned by Virgin. It's operated and run by Virgin. Because the old Nigerian Airways defunct, like a lot of other airlines around the world. But it's plainly embarrassing that a country. So I think the situation is for me it's quite embarrassing that Nigeria is trying to be this so-called Lion of Africa, and other countries are just going about their business. I mean, look at the situation of electricity in Nigeria. People were there's supposed to be a national grid, I think, being built in Nigeria. How many years is that going to take? I suppose it does take time, but still, the local electricity areas could be at least made for 24-hour electricity. Yet still, people are getting consistent cuts. Sometimes no electricity for literally a couple of weeks, and then it's back on for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours, or even sometimes only for 20 minutes, and goes off again for another week, or a few more days. The north is a little bit better, but certainly if you're in Lagos, you can be out for a good week, sometimes 2 weeks with no electricity. So where Nigeria's priority is going to be, I think they should be looking at building an underground network system. Employ British Underground. They're the original experts or it might have to go to the Chinese to help with this. But maybe Nigeria could do it itself. Get some people taught up to learn structural engineers and to build under the ground, and build a tube system that would be suitable for Nigerians. Seeing other countries in Africa going about their business quietly while Nigeria stands up puffing its chest, and it's not doing anything in improving the lives of Nigeria. Look at Nigeria now; it's in recession. When the Jonathan government was there, everybody was fairly happy, but then you've got the disgruntled Muppets who wanted, now they've got him out. Now they're complaining that they're in a recession. You wished hard and you got what you wanted. Nigeria needs to seriously look at building a proper railway network. They need to start from Lagos, centre of Lagos, the business district, and build a small network from there out to all parts of that area, and then start trying to build a train network. It would help with easing the traffic that is there. So I'm not sure how many minutes I've got. Yeah, so it is. I'm afraid it's quite embarrassing that a country like Nigeria, doesn't have this system. Anyway, that's my take on it. Thank you.